Hello, everyone, and I'm Khwahish. I was studying at Endeavour in 2016-17 batch. So I had my entrance exams in 2017. I joined the 1 year Endeavour program. I was a student at Udgam, and currently I am an undergraduate at IIM Indore. I am yet to go into my postgraduate program. I've completed the first 3 years of IPMAT. As you know, that it's an integrated 5 year program. Um, yeah, I mean, that's basic information about me. Anything apart from that, I think we'll take on as the uh, questions progress.
Yeah. Start with a question, which is, you know, will give you also, space to settle in. Is how has been your IIM Indore experience so far? 3 years, from
Yes.
what you walked in to, where you are, in quarantine space of your home, doing your PG, now first year. So, how has this been? At least your the whole graduation experience. How has it been? Right?
So, in hindsight, I believe that choosing IPM over any other normal course has been the best decision that I've taken for myself. Um, Said that, I would suggest everyone who's watching should take whatever I say as my own personal opinion about something, and it doesn't represent anything else. So, the reason I feel that this has been the best experience for me is that I believe that my personal growth trajectory, in terms of the knowledge that I have received, in terms of the perspectives that I've formed, in terms of the learning that I've gotten from the faculty, from peers, has been has been exceedingly good when I talk about being in IIM Indore. Now, I think it just does not come from the fact that it's a business school with a good brand name. It also comes from the fact that they've taken this program with utmost seriousness, and they've tried to make it better year after year. We're not missing out on any experience that a normal college going student would have probably gotten. If I talk about student activities, if I talk about hostel life, if I talk about quality of learning, if I talk about placements, student exchange programs, everything for that matter has been set up for us in this program. Now, when you think of college life, you think of college life in certain ways. You want to have a fun 3 years. You want to go out, become independent. You want to have a separate experience, not like school was a routine that was set for you. College is space for you to explore yourself, and I have not gotten a better plot. I would have not gotten a better platform to explore myself. So the IPM experience for me has been very, very good. Saying that, it differs from people to people. I see my own batchmates, I see my seniors, I see my juniors. It changes. The best part is that it's customizable to what you want it to be, in the sense you all go through the same courses, but you all go through courses in a different um, feeling. So suppose if I am interested in something more, my experience towards that course is much more
Right.
nuanced, it's much more practical than probably say a subject that I do not have so much interest in. So what happens is that what I come out of as a product of that course or that program is very dependable on where I invested my energy and resources for those 3 years. And that is how it differs from person to person. So it's basically how you want it to be. But the program gives you the platform to go anywhere and everywhere. It does not restrict you like that. You just need to grab on to what you want from the
Right.
program.
So here I would like to add a small question. So when you say that you can be what you want to be, it gives you an opportunity to be that. Was that kind of clarity there with you when you joined the graduation? Do
No.
you have that kind of clarity now? And to what extent, what has been your effort to get that clarity if you have got some clarity? And how has the institution helped in getting this clarity?
Right. So, it's very difficult for an outsider who's not been in the college or who's not been a part of that curriculum to understand how differently it's structured from a normal college program. Now, when I compare, so I Personally, I'd applied to 3 colleges: NMIMS Mumbai, SEMS Pune, and IIM Indore. I had 90% thought that I am going to NMIMS Bombay because I personally thought that getting into an IIM, I probably didn't have the capacity at that point of time. Now, because of which, when my friends also got into NMIMS, I was very happy that I'm going to a place where I'll be settled. The idea of settling or the idea of comfort is what helps you when you're trying to get out of your house the first time.
Right.
So choosing IIM over it was was easier for me only because everyone around me realized how much of a big deal it was, which to me did not feel like a big deal because I wanted comfort. But the clarity that comes is by being in the program at least for a year. When I say at least for a year, it's because the course is structured in a format, and I will explain the structure in a minute. The course is structured in a format where, unless you give the course time and effort, you will not get back anything from the course. So you have to put in that 10, 20, 50% effort of yours for the course to respond in a way where you get more from it than you've given in. Now, coming to the course structure, it's basically a mix of mathematics, statistics, economics, and humanities and social sciences. When I say mathematics and statistics, or in fact, when I say all these 4 things, these form the 4 pillars on which this course is designed. Starting from term 1 to term 9, because we have 3 terms per year, 3 months term, they get cut short to 2.5 months. uh, we undergo around 30 to 32 credits on an average. When I say 32 credits, there will be 6, 7 credits of math, 6, 7 credits of stats, some 8 credits of econ, some 5, 7, 10 other credits of social sciences, 2 credits of drama, dance, or music, and another 2 credits of any language that you want: German, Spanish, or French. Now, while it may seem like I don't want to know, I don't want to learn drama, or I don't want to learn Spanish or French, the coach just wants to tell you you're a management student, you adapt to every place that you have to go to, you don't have that option. So you have to inculcate the into the environment that you choose to belong to. So it's basically to say that you find these things redundant, but when you look back you realize that these are not as redundant as you thought they were. Now, in the first 6 terms, everything that you do is compulsory. So you basically have a basic, like a general foundational understanding of everything wherever you put your effort. So, for example, I was a statistically and mathematically inclined student who loved economics a lot, but sometimes economics also became a little difficult to understand because the course rigor kept increasing. So you had to catch up with it. So for me, social sciences are always like a was something that I thought that it's not my interest, but I would still listen in classes. I would still sort of put an effort, but I would realize that at the end of the day, I'm not taking back from it so much as I'm probably taking from statistical courses or say mathematic courses. So that is where I grew. Those are the electives I pursued in my last year. Those were the courses that helped me understand that okay, research is my field of interest, or say finance is my field of interest, or say data science is my field of interest, in comparison to say probably marketing or IT or HR, which are domains that I am not very fit for. But that does not mean that if put into a situation where I have to work in HR, I will not be able to, because I still know the basics of it.
Um, just to interrupt you a bit, Koyesh, how to make this decision that your marketing is not cut out for you or HR is not cut out for you? You are still a bit too young. You know?
Right. So when I say finance or I say marketing, I don't say that these are fixed domains that I will definitely go to. But how our mind works, or especially how my mind works, in fact, even for making the decision of going for science or commerce or arts, I eliminated my options. So I picked commerce for myself. Similarly, here when I realized that okay, these subjects are not for me, or courses are what I like better, you try to find domains which fit more of these things and less of other things. And you realize that you have to start somewhere. You have to pick some domain, you have to pick up some role. You always have the option of changing it, but you're lucky if you get into the role that you want to get in the first year. I'm not saying everybody is, I'm probably not going to be, but I still want to feel like this is what I picked for myself after eliminating what I don't like, so that I'm happy with what I'm doing and it's something that I'm good at. So that is how I feel like, these are the fields that I keep open for myself. So when I say research, it's also market research and marketing, but it's probably not branding. That's the sort of difference that I put, that I need to have clarity on my thoughts. And again, comes only after 3 years. Probably hasn't even come till now, but comes only after 3-4 years, and you realize what you're doing around. Doesn't come
If
right.
my question to you 3 years back was, can you explain to me branding and market research? What would have been your answer?
I
You're
I
using
mean,
them like a pro, right?
like, yeah, it would probably would have been gibberish, I would say. I mean,
Okay.
things that I would have. So you, with marketing, the thing is, you've heard it so much and it's so overused in some form, that I would have still told you, how Maruti Suzuki has advertisements and how these people have. But that's the limited idea that you have. You don't have a clear idea of anything at that point of time, because again, theory is
So you
important.
are making a far more informed decision today.
Right, yes. So that is what I would say, that 3 years back, you don't know all of these things, but 3 years later, the course is designed in a way that you have a theoretical knowledge of everything, which makes you in a better position, which keeps you in a better position to make a practical career choice for yourself. In fact, choosing colleges also becomes a very important career choice that we don't realize, but it is, honestly. Those 3-4 years of your life are not going to come back, and you need to make a decision for yourself in that direction, keeping that in mind.
Right. So we'll continue with the I am Indore theme for now, and we'll
Right,
come back to your preparation and how you, came to this. But if we have to say, like, you have to pick, X things you really like about I am Indore, or this is,
right.
what would be those X things? And if you have to pick, two or three areas where you think, this is where I didn't like, or maybe, I had challenges. What would be those two or three things?
Right.
You know.
Um, One, I would like to say that how much ever I would want to deny it, or how much ever I would want people to stay back in their homes and live a comfortable life, it's very, very, very important to be in a residential college for the first 3 years of your life. Now, I would say it's important because um, you develop connections and you develop networks with not only your friends or your peers, but with the administration, with the faculty, with with even the workers in your hostel. And I'm not saying connections in the sense, something based on quid pro quo, like, you help me in something, but these are networks, or these people are stakeholders which you never realized lived in an institution where it's just knowledge impart. So if I'm living in a school, I'm in a school, I'm going, I am a stakeholder, the faculty is a stakeholder, and I don't realize anything apart from that. When you're in a residential college or a campus, you realize there's so much more to building an environment where you can live than going to a college, studying there for 5 hours and coming back home. So residential colleges help you in a lot of ways, making you independent, making you understand how to live with people, how to live, how to maintain distance with people you don't want to be around. So I guess it's very important overall to know that residential colleges offer you much more than just knowledge. They give you an experience of living somewhere where you understand it as your own city or your own hometown that you're growing up in for those 3 years of your life. Apart from that, I believe that the quality of faculty members is extremely important. So not what they teach, but how they teach what they teach is extremely important. With these colleges, because they've taught MBA students, they know the undergraduate mindset, I would suggest say, like, they know what you were before you became into. So they have a fair idea, and they treat you like that. They don't treat you like kids who've come in only from school. They treat you like people who are here after they've made a good decision. So you need to know the choice that you've taken, and you need to work hard for it. So they treat you like good, educated, smart kids who are here and are here to mold themselves. Third, I would suggest peer learning is extremely important. So when I say peer learning, I realize that what happens in colleges is that you have in groups and out groups. Okay, if I can put it like that. So in groups are people that you form connections with based on your region, preferences, likes, dislikes. These become your friends. These are people you hang out with. These are people who you go, share your problems with, study with, stuff like that. Then there's out groups. Out groups are people who you don't have a personal connection with, but they're in your classroom, they're part of your batch, they're probably your seniors, faculty, kids, stuff like that. These are all out group people. But what happens with peer learning is, in an environment where you're only 120 people, the possibility of out groups reduces because you realize that you are the only 120 people for each other. So over time, your bond with your batch gets better, your understanding about the other person gets better, you develop a sort of tolerance that we don't see around ourselves. It's very easy to shut someone down by saying that no, this is not right, but hearing them out and trying to make a second opinion about it or trying to change your stance toward it, it's very difficult, which does not happen in a B school like this, because you realize that it's important to have a second opinion, or you realize that there are people who think differently from you because they've been brought up in a different way, they're from different regions, there's so much diversity that it gets better. So peer learning is extremely good. um, Fourth, I would like to say that there's a lot of student activities on campus. Okay, there are fests, there are, like I said, student exchange, there's placements, there's all kinds of clubs, sports, media, dance, music, like anything, any hobby that you think of, there is a club for it. So you're belonging. You know that this is where I can go. This is what I can do. Just work for it. Just be like, yeah, there's a selection process. Go through it, and you're in. And there you develop relations which are based on your interest, literally on your interest. We both like entrepreneurship. We're in the same club. We can talk about it. We both like dancing. We're in the same club. Let's make a video together. And these things happen. So the experience of organizing something, being a part of something, and also being somebody on the outside who's viewing it is very good. So the student activity body is very, very, very enthusiastic and very active. That is another thing. And then I said, already mentioned, that self growth is a very important parameter, which I like, because there's a lot of holistic education. So self growth again becomes very important. Three things that I think should have become better, or there's a scope of becoming better. Environment is very competitive, even if it's very active. So a competitive environment always keeps you on your toes and always wants you to be productive. Third thing, which I think is a lot more relevant to everybody here, is that the idea that IPM is a specialization program, it's not. Like other bachelor programs where if you're doing a BTech, you're doing a BBA, you're doing a BCom, you come out with some form of specialization that these courses offer. But what IPM is it's not a specialization. It's more like you becoming a jack of all trades to become a good general manager, or to become somebody who can overlook every specialization vertical, because you have an idea of everything else. So you are more attuned to becoming somebody who's solving things rather than doing things himself or herself. So um, it's not a specialization program, but that does not mean that you will never have a specialization. But if you're coming in with the idea that no, this is, you will be the master of this after you end those 3 years, that will not happen.
To younger school, they have built up with what I'm hearing from you is very, very promising. This shows that, there's a lot of in institutions, they are building careers. They are actually
Yes.
taking responsibility of you from your parents for 5 years, right? And in this process, teaching you how to be responsible. So what else when you're talking about these situations here? Most of these actually are making you responsible and ready for the corporate, because you'll have to work with
Definitely.
people you're not in teams where you don't like. Same thing, you'll have to work on days the work is there and you don't want to work. So, so that would be there in the corporate world. Maybe they
Definitely.
are making you responsible a bit early. So, but do you actually get no time, free space? So you must have some hobbies or something. Are you able to pursue those? No.
Right. So no, that it's not like we're dying all the time. It's more like just some days the schedule gets really hectic, but on other days, people who have hobbies have been pursuing it. For me, my hobbies are a little different. Like I like cooking and I like traveling. I like reading. Some of these things I've sort of these are not possible when you're in a 3-year college or you're living there. But for that matter, what I did find as my hobby was that I really liked being a part of organizing committees. So I really liked working in fests. I really liked being the core part of some club conducting some activity. So I kept myself really busy throughout. So by the end of it, I realized that I was probably putting in more effort for the fest than on my studies. But I never regretted it for even a minute because I really liked what I was doing. So it's not like you don't get the time. But what you need to realize is you need to manage your time very well. Any kind of procrastination is only good up till a point. When you realize that, okay, this is where it has to end because I need to do something else, then you realize that, okay, I need to manage my time in a certain way, that I might wake up 30 minutes early, or might not, like, I can't miss classes to do something that I really want to do. I have to manage it in the same 24-hour day that I have, and also not, you know also sleep for 8 hours, because trust me, that's very important.
Vacations would be lighter? No.
No. So when you come from that schedule back home, you feel vacations are like you have nothing, and you miss it. You miss having something to do in those 15 days because there's nothing to do. But you've come from a life where you had assignments every single day. That we have a submission every third day. So it's like you realize that that's the amount of exams, quizzes, keeps you on your toes all the time. So when you come back home, you have 10 days to relax, go out, actually go on a vacation. And those 15 days is something that you need, because after every 3 months, your body is like, bas, ab mujhe break chahiye thoda sa. And then you come back home and it's all a relief there. So, yeah.